Owning a ranch means peace, privacy, and pride. My land had been in the family for generations. The long dirt driveway stretched past oak trees, across open pastures, and ended at a solid steel gate. That gate wasn't just metal and bolts, it was my line of defense against trespassers, hunters, and strangers. For years, it worked. Nobody crossed it without permission. That changed the day Karen moved into the nearby HOA community. She wasn't just any neighbor, she was the self-appointed sheriff of the subdivision. The type of person who believed every fence line, every mailbox, every blade of grass should answer to her. Her home was nearly a mile from my property, but that didn't stop her from making her presence known. At first, it was little things, knocking on my door to complain about how my gate ruined the aesthetic of the area, or how my "no trespassing" signs were too aggressive. I laughed it off. But then, one evening, I noticed something strange. My gate, which I had locked that morning, was slightly ajar. Tire tracks ran across the dirt and into my property. Someone had driven straight through. At first, I thought maybe it was a delivery truck. But the pattern repeated. A few days later, the same tire marks. And then again. Until one day, I caught the culprit in the act. It was Karen. I was standing near the barn when I saw her SUV rolling slowly up to my gate. Without hesitation, she unlatched it, pushed it open, and drove through like she owned the place. "Karen!" I yelled, running toward her. She stopped, rolled down the window, and smirked. "Oh, don't be so dramatic. The community has always used this road as a shortcut. It saves time." I stared at her in disbelief. "Karen, this is private property. This isn't a road. It's my land." She gave a laugh that dripped with arrogance. "Well, maybe you should think about being a good neighbor and letting people through. After all, we all share this community." I shook my head. "This isn't a community road. This is a ranch. You're trespassing." But she didn't care. She revved her engine, waved dismissively, and drove deeper onto my land before looping back to the main road. The next day, I reinforced my gate with a heavy-duty chain and padlock. I even posted 2 brand-new signs: "Private property and trespassers will be prosecuted." But that didn't stop her. The following week, she rammed the gate open with her bumper, snapping the chain. She didn't even try to hide it, she honked and waved as she passed through, as if I was the inconvenience. That's when I realized, Karen wasn't just being difficult. She was declaring war. Now, I wasn't about to risk my land, my livestock, or my peace because one entitled HOA president thought she could bulldoze her way through life. So, I decided to teach her a lesson she wouldn't forget. First, I installed a reinforced ranch gate. From the outside, it looked just like the old one. But inside, I'd added spring-loaded hinges and a locking bar that would swing back into place if someone tried to force it open. In short, the harder you pushed, the harder it locked. Next, I laid down a hidden tire spike strip just inside the entrance, camouflaged perfectly under a thin layer of dirt and gravel. To anyone who belonged there, it wasn't an issue. The gate opened safely, and the spikes were never engaged. But to anyone forcing their way in at speed, disaster. Finally, I mounted a motion-activated trail camera in the tree line. Crystal-clear night vision, time-stamped footage, and automatic uploads. If Karen thought she could twist the story later, she'd be sorely mistaken. I sat back and waited. It didn't take long. 2 evenings later, just as the sun dipped behind the hills, I heard it, the low rumble of her SUV. I crouched near the barn and watched as her headlights approached. She didn't slow down. If anything, she sped up. She hit the gate like she had before, expecting it to swing wide. Instead, bang! The new gate slammed shut, harder than before, locking instantly against her bumper. The sound of grinding metal echoed across the field. Karen slammed on the brakes, but it was too late. Her SUV rolled forward, straight onto the spike strip. Hisses. One by one, her tires deflated. The SUV sagged to the ground like a wounded animal. She jumped out, red-faced, screaming. "You can't do this. This is harassment. I'll sue you. I'll call the HOA." I walked toward her slowly, phone in hand, the trail camera still recording behind me. "Karen," I said calmly. "You've been warned. This is private property. You've broken my gate. You've ignored my signs. And now," I turned the phone toward her, showing the live footage. "I've got all the proof I need." Her face went pale. She knew she was caught. When the sheriff arrived, Karen tried everything. She lied. She cried. She claimed the road had always been public access. But the sheriff wasn't buying it. The signs were clear. The footage was undeniable. And the spike strip? Perfectly legal, because it was on private property. Karen was slapped with charges for trespassing and property damage. Her insurance company refused to cover the wrecked tires and dented bumper because it happened during an illegal act. And the HOA? They abandoned her. Turns out, even they were tired of her nonsense. The board issued a statement that her actions were personal and not representative of the community. Translation: "You're on your own, Karen." After that, Karen disappeared from my life. No more SUV. No more trespassing. No more smug entitlement. My ranch was quiet again. Peaceful. Safe. And every time I passed that reinforced gate, I couldn't help but smile. Because sometimes, people like Karen think they can get away with anything. But when consequences slam into them harder than they ever expected, well, let's just say they never saw it coming.